Time now to bring in CBS Sports NFL writers Will Brinson and John Breach. And such an important hire, gentlemen, on the horizon for New York because they've been running through head coaches like my baby runs through diapers, I feel. So, John, what do you believe they need to be looking for in terms of a great fit for their next head coach?
Well, Chris, that is a great comparison because it sounds about right with the Jets. But look, you look at what the Jets have not been able to do over the past 14 years, and that is get to the playoffs. So my number one priority is I want someone with some playoff pedigree. And as you just mentioned, Mike Vrabel took the Tennessee Titans to the postseason multiple times. And we are talking number one seed in the AFC in 2021, which might be the most underappreciated coaching job in NFL history. It was just so wild. You have Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, yet the Tennessee Titans managed to get the number one seed that year. So you look at what Vrabel does, and he can win if he doesn't have a star quarterback, as we saw in 2021 with Ryan Tannehill. And that's another issue you have to worry about, because if you're the Jets, you don't know what your quarterback situation is for 2025. It's looking a lot like Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be back, so then you're starting at scratch again. So you need a head coach who can win without necessarily having a great quarterback in place. Well, Vrabel checks that box because he'll put together some great defense. He's the kind of guy you want that is also the leader of men, as you hear people say. Well, Vrabel absolutely checks that box. So I think there is a lot to like about Mike Vrabel if you are the New York Jets. The only hesitation here is that New York just fired a defensive-minded coach in Robert Saleh. So do you want to go defensive-minded guy again? So I think that might be one thing that gives him hesitation. Why not go with a Ben Johnson or call Cliff Kingsbury or get somebody on the offensive side of the ball? But as long as you're okay going defensive side of the ball again, I think Mike Vrabel would be a great hire.
Yeah, and let's not forget, John, that Mike Vrabel has hired some pretty good offensive coordinators. Matt LaFleur and Arthur Smith both went on to get head coaching jobs after being his OC in Tennessee. I mean, look, I think it would be a slam dunk hire for the Jets because, to me, the one thing you need for this clown show that is the Jets is a serious football guy who will come in and keep the locker room in a professional manner, that will have a cohesive relationship with the front office, with ownership, that will sort of stiff arm, honestly, the joke that is the ownership there. Woody Johnson's checking Madden ratings. I mean, Mike Vrabel doesn't care about Madden ratings. I do worry. You look at this list, right, and you see, whether like Adam Gase, the second time around, I would be wary if I were Mike Vrabel of taking the job with the Jets, knowing that I've already been the coach for the Titans, and that when you go to New York, Mike Vrabel without the media in New York and that market would be incredible, by the way. But you go to New York, and if it doesn't work out and they have this history of firing coaches quickly, then maybe you're in a position where it's harder to get another job. So that would be my concern for Vrabel. But I think it's a great fit if the Jets want to act like a serious football team for once.
That is the question that we've been asking for so long, gentlemen. Can they act?
Obviously, winning is the most important part, but those two things go hand in hand. Mike's a huge part of this offense. He's a huge part of this passing game, and so getting him involved early and often is a lot of the reasons we've had success. And so those things go hand in hand. Yeah, there's balance, and the most important thing is winning, but I see it playing out. If we win, that's Mike's getting the record. And so, we got to focus on winning and getting him the ball, but guys playing for each other. And that's Mike won't say anything about it, and that's just who he is, and that's why we love him. That's why everybody loves him. That's why he's been so consistent for so long. It's never been about just himself. It's been about winning and trying to find ways to win.
He's been here for so long, done everything the right way. The type of person, type of player, type of teammate Mike is. Why wouldn't you want him to get something that's? Has anyone done it? There's a couple people have done it.
Just Jerry.
Just Jerry. Are you Holy. Yeah, so I didn't know it was only Jerry Rice. He has to get it now. Was it 85 yards? Gosh. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. I hope he does. We're going to do everything we can.
Okay, so with all that being said, John, do you believe it's a lock that Mike Evans will secure that record going up against one of the worst defenses in the league in the Saints?
Oh, Chris, just listening to Baker Mayfield talk, I was about to walk off the set and go bet the barn on the over here because that sounded like a quarterback who is absolutely determined to make sure Mike Evans gets over 85 yards. And if your quarterback, the guy throwing you the ball, wants you to hit that number, you are probably going to hit that number. And obviously, he gets the bonus money if he hits it, but it's not just about money. So you don't have to change much around. You just make sure that Evans hits that 5 reception mark, that 85-yard mark, and boom. So I do think this absolutely gets done, and I'm sure that Mike Evans won't throw the ball in the crowd like he has been known to do with monumental, epic, key touchdown balls.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the biggest lock of the week that he's going to get 85 yards. You just see that graphic? Every time he's gone to the final week of the season needing X number of yards, he's gotten there. And he's going to get 85 yards. The Saints can't stop a cold, right? I mean, we've seen Marshall Lattimore and Mike Evans go at it for years. Now Lattimore's been traded to Washington. And so there's not that, the Saints are playing for nothing except maybe to stop Mike Evans. He's playing for $3 million if he gets 5 catches and 85 yards. That's a lot of money. I don't care how rich you are. $3 million is a lot of money. And he's playing, as John said, to tie Jerry Rice in the record books. Anytime you can tie Jerry Rice in the record books, you make it happen. And I think, too, when if you want to really, expand it out, 30,000-foot, 50,000-foot viewpoint, if he ties Jerry Rice for this record, it's going to really bolster his Hall of Fame case, regardless of how many games he had to do it. I think he gets there easily. In fact, if you can bet Mike Evans over 85 yards in the first half, I think that could get there as well.
I was about to say, I think he's a surefire Hall of Famer, whether he gets this record or not. That man has been a stud, no matter who's been behind center for the Buccaneers. Now, the Buccaneers will be either the 3 or the 4 seed if they win. The Rams' loss pushes them to a 3 seed. So we'll either have the Lions or the Vikings as a 1 seed, depending on the outcome of Sunday Night Football, which means we'll have a 14-win, 5 seed. I'm on Ross St. Brown. Not a fan of that.
I think the rules should be changed. Obviously, if you win a division, you should obviously make a playoff spot. But having a 14-win team, having to go on the road is kind of crazy. But I guess I don't make the rules, so hopefully we can get a win and get home field advantage. But whatever happens, we both have a spot in the playoffs, so we might see each other again after this game.
It's funny that he brings that up, and I'm curious, Will, do you feel like the Lions are in trouble if they don't get that 1 seed? Because for me, I don't think they're making it to the Super Bowl, let alone the NFC Championship game, based on all the injuries. But do you think they're in trouble, especially if they don't get that 1 seed?
No, I think the Lions are fine, mainly because you have this attitude with Dan Campbell where he says we're eating stale bread, right? Like we need to eat moldy bread. We need to eat moldy bread, and they decide it's basically he's trying to tell everybody we're just going to win games by outscoring everyone and trying to do whatever we can on defense. And you've seen that the last few weeks of the Lions offense just stepping up and being this explosive unit. So many different weapons. Ben Johnson is completely in his bag. They're running the lateral stuff to Jameson Williams. So I don't think they're in trouble at all if they lose. I think same case can be made for the Vikings, right? I disagree with Amon-Ra St. Brown though. These divisions are so variable and they fluctuate so much that most of the time you end up in a situation where one division's bad for a while, then one division is great for a while. Let's not forget, if you're in the NFC North the last 20 years, you got to play the Lions. And that was a big boost to being in that division. So I think winning your division, you should get a home game. I understand the concern, but I am not concerned about the Detroit Lions.
Brinson, what's funny is that you mentioned disagreeing with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I do agree with him. You just go back to the playoff format as recently as 2020 when only 6 teams got in from each conference. If that was still the case right now, either the Commanders or the Packers would be left out of the postseason with 11 or 12 wins. So you're talking about something that's all we would be talking about right now, that 11 or 12 win team could be possibly left out of the postseason. You don't want that if you're the NFL. You don't want the great teams being left out. So I don't think changing the seeding process is crazy. As for our other topic, I agree with Chris. I think that the Lions could be in a lot of trouble if they do not win Sunday night. I think they need this game a lot more than Minnesota does. As Chris said, they're beat up. You give them a week off to rest, I think they can make a run all the way to the Super Bowl. But if they get stuck in the 5 seed, they're either going to go on the road to Tampa Bay to play a Buccaneers team that has already beaten them, or they're going to go on the road to Los Angeles to play a Rams team that went toe-to-toe with them in Detroit in week 1 in a game the Lions took till overtime to win, and that was a fully healthy Lions team. Now, if the Lions are beat up, it kind of changes the dynamic, especially because Sean McVay's giving his guys the week off. So Matthew Stafford is going to be kicking back and relaxing on Sunday while the Lions are trying to beat the Vikings. So I do think the Lions could be in some trouble if they are stuck with the 5 seed.
A lot of pressure on the Lions. Going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. Will Brinson, John Breach.
Movie camera, hey, Cowboys fans. Today, we've got breaking news that could shake up the future of our Dallas Cowboys. It's something that could completely change the direction of the team next season. But hold on. Before we dive into the big reveal, let's keep the suspense going for about 50 seconds. In the meantime, tell me, do you think the current coaching staff is ready to take the Cowboys to the next level, or is it time for a radical change? 3 o'clock, the current situation. The 2024 season hasn't been easy for the Cowboys. With injuries impacting the roster and inconsistent performances, the team wraps up the year with a losing record and no playoff appearance. Head coach Mike McCarthy, despite some achievements, including a playoff win during his tenure, is under intense pressure. The big question is he still the right man to lead America's team? This is where the rumors start heating up. As we approach the dreaded Black Monday, the day when many NFL coaches lose their jobs, a potential replacement's name is already circulating behind the scenes. Fire the frontrunner, John Gruden. That's right, the legendary coach, famously known as Chucky, might be coming out of his NFL exile to take over the Dallas Cowboys. Gruden brings with him a solid track record, boasting a 117-112 career record, 5-4 in the playoffs, and a Super Bowl title with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His expertise as a coach and his reputation as a film junkie make him a respected and sought-after figure in the football world. Lightbulb, why is Gruden a good fit? He's known for developing creative offensive schemes and maximizing the potential of his quarterbacks. With Dak Prescott struggling with consistency and injuries in recent years, a coach like Gruden could be the missing piece to unlock the team's full potential. Plus, his strong personality might be just what's needed to navigate the unique challenges of working with Jerry Jones, the Cowboys' high-profile owner. Start increasing the impact for the Cowboys, bringing in John Gruden would be a bold move, but it might be exactly what the franchise needs to break out of its cycle of disappointments. With a winning mentality and proven experience, he could be the key to stabilizing the team and elevating it to the level fans have been dreaming of for decades. Flex biceps. So, Cowboys fans, what do you think? Is John Gruden the ideal coach to lead the Cowboys? Or do you believe McCarthy deserves another shot? Drop your thoughts in the comments and join this exciting discussion that's just getting started. Megaphone, be part of the conversation. Like this video, share it with other Cowboys fans, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates on our team. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on exclusive news and insights. American football, go Cowboys! Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Together, let's hope for brighter days ahead for our beloved Dallas Cowboys.